Hey folks, Quilly here, and welcome to episode 2 of our Rising Tide pre-release Let's Play. Rising Tide is the expansion for Sid Meier's Civilization Beyond Earth. And here we are still playing as the North Sea Alliance, the super aquatic people. Deep Castle is still trying to complete its move into an illegal tile that the game I don't believe will let me actually do, but I had to try. Later on, you do unlock the ability to move your cities into oceans, but you do not start with that ability. And it does let me know, there's a nice little pop-up in the middle of the screen there that you may have noticed. We get quite a few of those as the game goes on, letting me know when agreements become available, basically when I have enough points to sign an agreement, for example, as well as anything that I might do that changes the fear or respect that a civilization has. One thing I forgot to note in the last episode, the agreements that you sign, depending on your level of friendship, you get bigger bonuses. They don't cost more, but you can see here, this reduces land maintenance for military units by X%, and depending on how friendly I am, that X% will be better and better and better. Same thing here with the covert agents and so on and so forth. Some things are just a flat one, like the one I talked about last episode where your workers are basically free. That I don't believe there's any way for it to scale based on friendship. But that is really nice. And again, one of the things that Vanilla Beyond Earth was really missing was the sort of real importance of different relationship levels. It was mostly just a way to stop people from attacking you, and that was kind of the end of it, which, don't get me wrong, is pretty important, but it was a little flat. Now it becomes really, really good to maintain really good relationships with the people who have the agreement types that you're really going to depend on, and those agreement types will change every game. Now, different leaders might have different emphasis, like they might, Brasilia might prefer to get, very offensive agreement types, for example, but it's not guaranteed. Oh, here finally, I'm taking a look at the personality traits. I don't remember if I unlock one here, but I sure as hell hope so. You can see my base trait there that I always get, the indefatigable. I'm not saying that right. That's the one that makes my aquatic cities easier to move and more powerful in combat. I start with that as the NSA, but I can level it up. And here you can see some of the perks here. So I'm in the domestic category and see more health, that's pretty good. More production, that's amazing. Okay, I was saying the numbers wrong before. It starts at 8%, then 12, then 15. Same thing with the science one, which right away I jump onto. And you can see what agreement it will unlock. The agreement is what other people will be able to come to me to purchase from me for diplomatic power. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and unlock the bonus science. So right away, I get 8% more science on top of whatever I produce, which is really good. And it tempts the AI to come and try to trade with me. And I actually don't think they do in this game. For whatever reason, maybe I don't get unlocked them soon enough, or something of that nature. I don't know. But again, after I played this session, and while I was uploading all the videos to my server, I started another game. And in that one, when I took a trait, the AI was coming at me all the time. Oh, you know why? I bet you it has something to do with the difficulty level. I'm playing this on Mercury level, and the AI is pretty much static on this difficulty level. And I think that's a big part of what was going on here. They mostly just leave you alone. When I started the new game, I started at, I don't remember what difficulty, not Apollo, maybe one below Apollo, Gemini, something like that, and, or Soyuz, I don't remember what the difficulty levels are in this game, but yeah, one below max, and in there, the AI was very, very keen on coming to me and trying to negotiate deals. I bet you it's just because the AI was probably stronger overall and had more diplomatic capital to expend, so they were willing to buy the deals. So, and that was really great. I'm really going to enjoy that part of the gameplay dramatically. It's, all of a sudden, you've got a diplomatic system that's more interesting than what's available in Civ 5. I mean, Civ 5, don't get me wrong, selling luxuries and strategic goods and things like that for money was great in Civ 5. It was one of the big reasons that you would keep good relationships with people, is because you could make so much money selling those things off, plus trading luxuries to keep your happiness up. And that's not really a thing in this game. The only thing you can sell are the 3 strategic resources, and it doesn't really come up that much. But now this agreement stuff is, oh my god, that's solid freaking gold. Really, really, really think that's good. Yeah, you can see Deep Castle did not indeed move after completing its move city thing into the ocean, because I wasn't allowed to do that. In addition to that, I've left a little glitched arrow on the screen, and that's what happens when you mess around with these pre-release builds. But again, if you're not trying to break it, you're doing something wrong. What am I building? I'm building an Explorer unit, which is something I've started to emphasize a lot more in Beyond Earth, and I didn't really used to do that. There's so many Like, because in Civilization 5, yeah, exploring is good, and you want to get the goodie huts, right? You want to get the, what are they called, tribal villages in Civ 5? You want to get those because there's a nice bonus, but eventually they run out, so you don't need that much scouting. But in Beyond Earth, not only do you have resource pods, which are the goodie huts, and oh, by the way, in the build that we're playing here, there were no resource pods or survey pods or whatever they're called in the ocean, but that is going to be something in the actual game. That was actually already included in the game, just not in the build that I played. So there will be a lot more resource pods to be found. So that's one of the things. You still want scouts for that, but you've got the expedition sites, which keep your scouts extremely busy in Beyond Earth. So I'm going to try to emphasize building more and more of them in the future. And especially now, there's just like even more stuff than ever before that you can get out of them. I mean, there's all the artifacts, which are cool, and for a few more things. There's Hatuma, a bit of a late landing, turn 31. Seems a little late to me. Paul Australia, a little bit close to me, but not necessarily bad. Right away, though, I start thinking like, okay, you'll probably be my first target, but at the same time, I'll probably want to be friendly for a little while. Only got a couple of cities. I do plan on getting growing a little bit wider, so I do want to pop out a few more colonists relatively soon. So hopefully we can do something for that. There's a spot to the north here. You can just see at the top of the screen that I will probably want to settle. There's a couple of good bits there. So oh, there we go. I queue up another colonist finally. So hopefully I can beat Hutuma to that. Or Hutama? Maybe it's Hutama. I think I say Hutum. Anyway, I should just say Paul Australia or Paul Austrasia. God damn. Terrible at that guy's name. Anyway, you know, yellow trade dude. Oh, at this point, yeah, I'm like really noticing that, like, hey, this isn't working. I don't think I'd realized up until this point here that there's definitely a glitch in the graphics, and I think I'm bringing it up to people. I'm like, I dug this up, but it's still here. Am I supposed to be doing something else? And they're like, oh, no, there's a glitch. But at some point I do that. I might still end up moving a scout and explorer over to there to try to dig this up at some point. But it's just a visual glitch in the current build of the game as they're redesigning the whole map stuff. What am I doing now? Yeah, the Sea Dragon's in my borders. I don't expect him to actually go after my worker. That's one of the interesting things that changed with the aliens, actually, is their behavior in terms of entering borders. The ultrasonic fence, for example, in vanilla Beyond Earth, would just, like, stop aliens from coming from within two tiles. Or if you pick the decision, 3 tiles. Now, it actually doesn't stop them from entering those tiles. It just discourages them from entering. Basically, the AI has like a weight on each tile as to whether they like want to enter this tile or not, right? And by building the fence, you add more sort of dislike for certain tiles. It doesn't make it impossible for them to enter, but it makes it less likely. And they're doing that to try to make the aliens more relevant and more still sort of concerning in the late game, for example. There we go, +1 culture from relics. That hasn't changed. Still one of the strongest picks right there that I'm always really happy with. So I do have to worry about that Sea Dragon, but I don't know if he's actually going to attack me. This is my patrol boat, so I think I'm going to go and try to actually blow up the Sea Dragon here and then protect my worker unit just to make sure nothing happens. But I'll finish him off since he does keep trying to enter my territory, which I do not appreciate. It's called mine for a reason. There you go. He does attack my patrol boat. Almost kills it, actually, which is a little terrifying. So a little bit of bombard there, and my screen changes, and I have to decide what I'm going to do. I think, yeah, there we go. Easily be able to finish it off. Plus, we get some veterancy out of all this, which is always nice. That damn arrow, so that is a visual glitch, because it didn't actually complete the move. Because it couldn't. I was trying to move somewhere that I wasn't allowed. Excavated, what do we get? We got, oh, a manticore. Which is great, except that I actually don't have the ability to embark, so the Manticore's not able to leave the island at this time. And actually, I think I may leave him there for the entirety of the game. Now that I'm thinking back, I'm like, I don't think he ever left that tile. Oh well. That's fine. So yeah, I think I'm trying to do some clicks here, yeah. I'm like, oh, what? Oh, right. He can't embark. Silly me. Well, at least he'll give me a little bit of vision over the area. That's all right. And again, you can see the icon for the expedition site is still stuck on there, which is too bad. Consider new traits. Like, yes, I really should do that. I don't think I do. I really should get another trait or upgrade one. That's going to be how I'm going to play the game. I think I'm going to unlock 3 different traits as quickly as possible. Well, I don't know. There's something to be said about waiting, maybe especially for the military one, as to whether you're going to be on a defensive footing or offensive footing. You know, maybe you're going to want to tech up and win like one of the sciencey type victories as opposed to going and conquering territory, in which case that'll have a pretty big impact on what you get. So instead, you can spend your political capital signing an agreement, or you can spend it leveling up a trait that you've already unlocked. Leveling up a trait, I think I mentioned it before, does not change the agreements that are possible from the other AI. They just give you more and more of an innate bonus. I'm really happy about this new tech tree. I mean, just the affinity change is good. Plus, I mean, they rebalanced some things and added some new buildings here and there, of course. Oh yes, Explorer units may leash alien units, and I feel really bad. That's one of the other things I haven't properly demonstrated. But literally, if you have an Explorer, so this keeps Explorer units relevant throughout the whole game. If you have an Explorer unit, I believe, adjacent to an alien unit, you can leash it, and it will follow your Explorer and actually sort of fight on your behalf. You don't like, it's not like a mind control. You don't gain control over the unit, but you can use alien units to fight, and that includes massive leviathans and landworms and that sort of thing. So it is a really interesting militaristic move that you can do with those guys. Unfortunately, I do not get around to using it in this video, and I want to apologize right away, because that probably would have been one of the coolest things to show off. I was sort of aware that the leash button was there, like a few times I'd mouse over it, but I never like intentionally went out and tried it out and like and did that, because again, I'm sort of trying to rush while also having conversations with some of the developers around me. And as a result, a couple of things just, you know, didn't get highlighted the way they should have been. Oh, one of the glitches that I think you're going to start to see here in a moment, this is something that's going to be fixed. Units that are in a aquatic city still count as being embarked, which means they do not heal. So my Explorer unit, I've got a half-dead Explorer unit inside of my capital. It's actually not going to be able to heal in there. There we go, +1 health from clinics. Still a great choice. So I actually have to bring it onto land to be able to heal there. You can see there's no actual rest or fortify until healed button right now, so that's like the first hint that that Explorer is not going to heal. So I just hit space. I'm like, oh, whatever, just wait a turn there. But yeah, that's going to be the problem. Philanthropy, a new deal with Franco-Iberia is there, but I should have gotten an extra trade at this point. One of the things that I don't think I mentioned, right now, changing relationship types to say cooperative or an alliance, all you have to do is have the right amount of respect or fear. They are talking about adding a cost in diplomatic capital to do that, which I think is a great idea. I think there should actually be a cost to working out those deals. Tax haven. Now here we go. 2 free trade routes in the capital. Else here, cheaper virtue cost, which is nice, although really expensive to maintain. Production cost for any city buildings produced culture is reduced by 20%. That's great. At this point, I hadn't actually noticed that there was a per turn cost for the diplomatic capital. I was like, because I don't remember what it said. It was like, what, 75 to sign that on the screen? And I didn't notice that it was cost me 9 diplomatic capital per turn to maintain, which was certainly a big mistake. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'll just pay this one-time cost. It's fine. So I'll do that a couple more times, I think, in this video and not notice that I've gone negative. And then it sort of breaks the agreement at that point. So if you're wondering why I'm making some of those choices, that is why. There's a couple more agreements that I definitely sign that don't make sense to sign when you keep in mind that there's an upkeep cost, which is, oops, too bad there. So I do have another settler. There's a great spot over there. And again, I'm trying to like, okay, where do I want to start my placement and then where do I want to move to here? I think I'm going to try to move into the ocean, and then, because I've forgotten that I can't colonize. Or, again, I might have actually been trying to test the glitch again to see if it will let me colonize in the ocean, even though it's not supposed to at this point in the game. That is something that you have to unlock later on. Well, it's just a tech. It's not like a big tech, I don't think. Actually, was that it? Planetary survey? Did that unlock the ocean stuff? It may have. I don't remember. Well, we're going to find out here in a second. One way or another. What am I going to get next? Xenosiren is cool. That's a satellite that attracts aliens to the area. What? That is so cool. I love that idea. Water refinery, amazing. +1 production for all water tiles. Yeah, biochemistry, get it. Get it. There you go, Quill. Good Quill. Of course, you know, one of the things I'm not doing here is prioritizing wonders, which I'm used to doing because I play at higher difficulties in Civ 5 and Beyond Earth, and in there you don't usually get a chance to get a wonder because usually the AI beats you to it, but I should have grabbed some here because I'm playing on lower difficulty and it's certainly possible. And again, I apologize that I can't go through the entire tree and mouse over all the things. I was on a little bit of a limited amount of time, so I sort of had to just glance at things and be like, yeah, good enough. Okay, I'm shift queuing that after biochemistry. There's still some people who don't know that in Civ you can hold shift and then click on a technology and we'll just queue it up afterwards. Yeah, domesticate wildlife because I am trying to go harmony over there. It's an easy decision. That's of course a quest that we already had in the base game. And yeah, at this point I think I'm realizing that You know, this Explorer is not healing up. What's going on here? And then I like finally, yeah, well, not yet, but I finally clue into the fact that, oh right, okay, so embarked units can't heal even with aquatic cities. What? There you go. Engineering core, I think that's the one that gives you. Worker units are free to build. It's also really cheap to sign up. 25 to sign up. And again, I don't realize that there's an upkeep cost at this point because I wasn't planning on building a worker instantly. So I shouldn't have signed it right away. I should have waited until it was time to build a worker. You can see now I've got like a massive deficit in my diplomatic capital, which is too bad. So yes. But you know, I do eventually figure things out. Eventually. You can see here, yeah, it's not gonna let me settle in the ocean. But I had to check. I was like, okay, fair enough. I'll go over there, and that's going to be a perfectly fine location. And yes, I want to go there because I want to move east later on, and then this patrol boat can just keep exploring around. That's going to be okay. Explored a crash site. What was it? Another satellite? Closed it too fast there.
This may be helpful.
Some of the icons and tooltips there. It's like, it says next turn, but I'm not actually going to the next turn. Also, the fact that the trade convoy and trade vessel are red is a glitch. I think that's supposed to be red when your city is full and can't support another trade route. But right now it's showing res red all the time when I can clearly build it. So that's just a visual glitch again. It will let me build it perfectly fine and no concerns there whatsoever. Submarines, invisible sea units, very cool, very fun. There's so much good stuff there. The rudder is cool, that's science, and I think cuts down on the time to move your city. I think that's what it was saying. One of the buildings definitely does. Mind over matter, obviously a great thing. I wasn't unhealthy yet, I should say, but it would have come relatively soon. And of course, positive health does give you bonuses in Beyond Earth, which is really nice. And I'm like, why is this guy not healing? Just waiting for the penny to drop. Oh, he's embarked. I gotta go on land. Right. I think there'll still be a couple of times where I end up putting a unit in a city, expecting him to heal, and it doesn't work. Obviously, your ships will heal perfectly fine. It's just embarked ground units will not heal at sea, including when they're literally in a city. And that is something that they are going to change. I brought it up, and they're like, oh, yeah, that's probably a mistake. So there's gonna be some of that. Hopefully they remember it and fix it before release. Cross our fingers. One of the other things I did bring up is I was able to rant in person about the fact that you cannot sort trade routes in. Oh, there you go, my existing deals, and it's like, I think here I were like, oh, 9 per turn. Wait, what? Oh, that's really bad. Hold on, cancel all the things, which is going to upset them, lose some bonuses. Also, I was really happy about that list, because one of the other things that was let me come back to the trade routes in a second. One of the other things I was upset about is like, great, okay, so there's all these trade agreements. Now I got to go and click on every single individual person's face to find out which ones they have available, and oh, what a pain in the ass. And then they have a button to show you all currently available trade agreements on one giant screen. And I was so happy to see that. I'm like, oh my god, this is great. You guys did a really good job with this UI. And then I think this is about the time when I start whining to them about the fact that you can't sort the trade routes still in the build that I have here. Actually, I guess I don't know it yet because I haven't built the trade ship. Never mind. But as soon as I do build my first trade vessel, I will note that you can't do that. You can sort by name and sponsor, and one other thing, whatever. The same thing as in base Beyond Earth. Whereas in Civ 5, you can sort your trade routes based on possible gold, possible science, maybe some other things, I don't remember. And it was like, why don't you have it in this game? It's super important. And I don't even care about repeating trade routes. Like, they added that button because people were complaining that trade routes were a pain to micromanage. So they nerfed the amount of trade routes you could do, which, okay. And they added a checkbox to repeat trade routes. And don't get me wrong, that checkbox is cool. I wish they had that in Civ 5. But I personally don't care about that. In fact, I tend to turn that off because I don't want to automatically repeat a certain trade route. Every time a trade route is done and I have to reallocate it, I always just want to pick the thing that gives me the most science or gold or energy or whatever the appropriate thing is at that moment and in that game. I want to know that I'm working the best one at any given time, which may have changed since I set up the trade route in the first place. And so being able to sort by highest energy is almost always what I'm going to want. So I made the case to them in person, and they're like, huh, yeah, I don't know why they don't have that. And I actually called it in to the lead producer, lead developer, and put in a request. So listen, I don't know if it's going to be there, but if at Rising Tide they've changed the trade screen to allow you to sort by energy, you have me to thank for it. Yeah, right here. See? I'm like, oh my god, you still can't sort by energy. And I was so mad. And Actually, it's entirely possible that at this point the screen is going to be paused for a couple of minutes as I rant to them. That's actually exactly what's happening here. So I should have actually waited. I should have made my rant on video right here when it came up. But yeah, this is me talking to them about the importance of having it be sortable. And they weren't, I don't know if they were really completely sold on it until later on I showed them again, when you've got lots of cities and lots of trade possibilities. Like here, it's easy to tell what you're doing. And also, I do have to give a kudos to Beyond Earth. I do like the way that their outpost system works, and I like the idea that you can send a trade route to an outpost to make it grow faster. I like the stations, I like the internal colony stuff, that's really good. But there you go. There's actually a mod that you can get that allows you to sort this stuff. But I don't want it to be a mod. I want it to be built into the game because it seems like the sort of thing you should do. One of my favorite things in the mod is the ability to sort by like differential, right? Because obviously when you send a trade route to someone, you get energy and science, but then so do they. And that mod lets you prioritize not just by like highest energy, but by highest energy difference. Because like if one trade route is going to give me 10 energy and them 9, another trade route will give me only 7 energy but gives them only 3, I might prefer that second one because it gives them less stuff, for example. So that I don't think needs to be in the base game because I think it makes it a little bit more confusing in the UI, but everyone can understand sort by energy. Come on, Fraxis 2K, you guys can do this stuff. Get in there. We are approaching the end of this video. We're at 3 cities right now. This is it looks like turn 48 again. You guys will have an easier time reading the text than I do right now. And it looks like I'm probably still just talking to some of the people here. Oh no, there we go. Go into the next turn. But yeah, we're gonna wrap up this video. We're gonna continue it. Again, this is actually gonna be a complete let's play. I am going to finish this game by the time we get to the end of these videos. I don't know exactly how many videos there will be because I haven't finished editing all the raw footage yet. It'll probably be somewhere around, I don't know, 12 to 16 or something videos, I suspect, for the complete game. We'll see how it goes. Biochemistry is done, which gives me a great new building that I'm really excited for. It's letting me know I can construct orbital units. Yeah, I think this is the orbital unit that's like the alien magnet, which would be kind of fun to dump on someone's head. But unfortunately, I do not actually deploy that satellite in this game. Sorry about that, but I hope you are enjoying these videos, and I hope you're sticking around. Until next time, folks, see ya. Bye-bye.